Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in for another episode of Off-Road Recon. In this episode today, we'll be showing you how to make this custom-built F150 bed rack that allows you to open your truck bed. So stay tuned here, and I hope you liked the video. If you got any questions, drop me a comment. This video is brought to you in part by Rigid Light Shop, the best place to buy high-performance lights at the best price. Use code OFFRECON to get free shipping. Jeep Kings of Strafford, Missouri, all your service and add-on needs at one stop.
It's a really nice building. Better than mine.
We started with basically a square or a rectangle shape here. This is slightly smaller than the truck bed. Something you do want to be sure of when you're doing this is make sure that you are using a square and a level and keeping everything plumb and straight, straight angles. So now we're going to weld these cross beams on just to give something to mount the tent to and also give stability. As you can see here, now we're cutting the legs for each side of the truck bed rack. This was probably the most tedious process of the entire build. So you got to cut these angles just right on these legs and then notch them out to fit into the top part of the rack. Thanks to Albert on all this. He did such a great job, and the guy really knows his stuff with metalwork. Guys, if you're interested in getting any custom build or racks built for your trailer, for your truck, for your Jeep, anything for that matter, give Jeep Kings a call today and set up your free consultation. So as you can see here, we used a couple of pieces of flat steel on the bottom of the rack. This is so the bed rack mounts directly to the top of the bed rails. This was so I could go ahead and have a bed cover that would still open and close. We have a retract system that's on an automatic motor. We opted to go with spray paint instead of bed liner or powder coat or anything of that matter for future customization. We wanted to be able to add other things onto this rack very simply. And I'm glad we did this because I've already added a couple of things, and it's just as easy as adding more spray paint. So just like I mentioned earlier, we just put 4 bolts through the top of the rack into the top of the bed rail. We went directly through the retract's rail system as well. So this is what holds the rack on. This was a nice touch. Thanks to Al, we use these rib nuts here. It just makes for a cleaner install, so you actually install threads into your posts instead of drilling all the way through and putting a bolt through it. So you can choose to do this, or if you want to save some money, just put a bolt through, you can do that as well. But this surely added a nice touch. So I think if there's one thing you could pick to redo, we would go back and do these hinges differently. If you look here, we mounted the hinges on the outside of the rack. We should have tucked them up underneath and put them on the inside. As you can see later on, we learn our lesson from this, and our next hinges are done better. Yeah, keep that in mind when you go to do your hinge system. As you can see here, I'm still happy with the way it turned out. We did put a shock on this. It's a 90-pound strut. You'll see later we can add some weight to that. We actually put a couple of fire extinguishers on it. Turns out really well. You can see at this point Albert's got the propane bottle all mounted, and you can see we just kind of keep perfecting things with the mount for that as well. This piece of aluminum plating here is going to hold Rotopax. So this bigger door here is going to hold a shovel and some action tracks or max tracks. As you can see, our hinge setup is a little bit better on this one. The hinges are kind of tucked back in there and hidden well. So this is what we should have done on the other door and may go back and do one of these days. I'm not quite sure. So this is it, guys. This is the finished product. Here's a couple of fire extinguishers we mounted on this aluminum. 90-pound strut to hold them up, holds it no problem. We've also created this slider for a couple of tough boxes. You slide in and out of here real easy, holds them tight. Also, we welded a bar up on the back side up here to ensure that they can't be stolen out of there. As you can see, my Retrax bed cover is closed all the way, and the system still works great. So, really happy with the way this turned out. Keep in mind, guys, you can purchase all these items that I have on my rack or that we use in the description below on our Amazon storefront. You can see we've got a Rome tent mounted on top, and I'm just going to kind of add little ideas to this thing as we build it. So I put this piece of PVC pipe on here to hold my butane bottles. There's also a propane bottle back there, and just little clever ways to carry more gear. As you guys know, when you're overlanding, you need as much room as you can possibly get. Here's my 3 Rotopax. I have water for obvious reasons, gas because I'm a gasoline vehicle, and a diesel is for our heater. So we pretty much have to carry every fuel type, including the propane on the back. So as you can see here, my Retrax bed cover still works perfectly, and we've got all the storage of a truck bed to overland with. Hope you guys liked the video. Please hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channels, check out more episodes like this, or check out some of our overlanding episodes where we travel. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you on the trail. Okay, so much more fun to drive this than the Jeep on the trails, or maybe not necessarily trails, but definitely on the roads and things like that. Let me tell you something. Have you seen this, man? Busted.
I can even do this.
A-hole. Can you do that?
Oh.
She got you, bud. Say preview not available.
Just have to wing it.